beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union, and I hope that everyone is doing well, and I hope that everyone who celebrated Thanksgiving had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers, and if you just stopped by to say hello and randomly clicked on this video, then I'm glad to see you here. And thank you to all of my longtime subscribers who have been continuing on this journey with me. And thank you, as always, to all of you beautiful souls who have booked readings with me and coaching sessions with me and purchased channel paintings for me. You know, it really is an honor and a pleasure to be able to support you and guide you in your journey, and it's just extra special for me because I get to hear about your stories, and it's just so special to be on this side of it where I am connecting with so many of you and hearing your stories, and it just is a reminder to me of how unique all of our journeys are, and how magical they are. And yeah, so I just really appreciate connecting with all of you, all of your comments, and just want to say thank you for being here. I've got a reading here, a full union spread here as usual, for the full moon in Gemini, which is coming up tomorrow, December 3rd, at 10:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I was doing a little bit of research about this full moon, and learned some pretty interesting things that I thought I would share with you guys. I'm not an astrologer, so I just, you know, I like to research and dabble and explore and learn things from other people who are astrologers. You know, so that being said, what I learned is really fascinating. You know, we just had the 11/11 gateway a couple weeks ago, and we are still very strongly in this 11/11 kind of energy, and we are integrating a lot of that. And this number 11 is also like preparing us and giving us like a preview of what is to come in 2018, because 2018 is an 11 year. And so anyway, this is really cool. So yeah, it's at 10:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and when we add the 47, that adds up to an 11, so it's like a 1011. And then with the sun's position, it is at 11 degrees Sagittarius, and the moon opposing the sun is at 11 degrees Gemini. Neptune is making a T-square, and that is at 11 degrees. And then we have Mercury, which is the planet that rules Gemini, at 29 degrees, and 29 adds up to 11. And then we also have Jupiter, which rules the sun, and it is making a trine with Neptune at 11 degrees. So we have 5 different, you know, cosmic, you know, planets and the sun and the moon, all creating the number 11. And yeah, it's just that energy of awakening and illumination, and you know, carrying this portal energy into 2018, an 11 year. So it's a really powerful time, and so I just wanted to share that with you. And then some other things about this full moon is just, you know, energetically, it's a time of transformation. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, but I was feeling like this interesting dynamic in the energy this week where I was slowing down a lot and wanting to really start going inward, which I feel like is part of that Mercury retrograde, which we have, which I believe is starting today, December the 2nd. So over, you know, the past few days, I've been feeling that energy coming in, and yeah, just kind of wanting to slow down and revisit, review, rejuvenate, relax, all of that kind of energy. And then we have this full moon energy coming in, which is about expansion, heart expansion, and the arts, and writing, and reading, communication. So we have kind of a very full moon, Gemini, social, creative energy coming with that. And so yeah, I was just kind of feeling this interesting, you know, like duality going on. And so I'm taking this weekend to just really find balance in that. And last night I went out for dinner and to see a play with one of my girlfriends, a Christmas play. And you know, so that was kind of my social time and doing something with, you know, arts and culture. And then I think, you know, this weekend I'm going to be doing like some Christmas decorating and some creative stuff, but also just taking time to, you know, go within and maybe write in my journal. I'm really feeling like writing. So, you know, just really, even over these next couple of weeks between this full moon and then the next new moon, these energies will be playing out. So see, you know, what's really calling to you. Yeah. So anyway, just lots of 11, 11, 11, 11, and then when we add up all of these 11s, it adds up to 10, which is a 1. So I just feel like it's a time of like a new beginning, and in the reading here, there's just a lot of that coming through this 11 kind of energy. So anyway, that's just kind of a little update, things that I've been noticing with the energies. I'm enjoying this full moon. You know, usually it can be an emotional time, but I'm enjoying some positive emotions while I'm also taking time to just go within and, you know, take time for reflection and contemplation and kind of that more spiritual aspect. So anyway, with that all being said, I will get into the reading here and turn the camera towards the cards, and we can dive in. So here we go. So I've got everything all laid out here, and as usual, I will hold up the cards so that you can see them up close. I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm kind of it's a sunny day here, and so I don't know, I kind of am getting a glare on my screen here, but I hope you guys can see the cards okay. So as you can see, like just looking at this overall spread, there is a lot of this bright gold energy coming off of the cards. And to me, that is just a lot of this 1111 gateway energy that we have going on right now. Still with us, you know, the gateway is something that it's not just a one-day event. It kind of is, I always think of it like a camera lens that is opening, and then it gets to like its widest point, and then it starts to close back down. So we are still in this, you know, kind of portal energy here. So anyway, I, as usual, have the Divine Masculine on this side, and then I have the Divine Feminine over on this side, and then in the center here I have the energies of the Union. Let's see, these cards are the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And then on these outer edges, I have clarifying cards from the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron Reed. And then I like to do a romance message, and I do that from this Divine Love Letters book from Nikki on the Divine Love Crystal Grid channel. So I will be sharing a message from this book. And she also has volume 2 available. You can get it on Amazon. So if you have the first book and you want to get the second book, you can get that now. And then, let's see, I have the Wisdom of the Golden Path guidance at the very end, so that we can receive some spiritual guidance and direction on our path. And as always, I always set the intention for the reading to be for the highest good of everyone in the Twin Flame Collective. And I always set the intention for whoever is watching this to receive healing from this reading for you and for your union. And, you know, just keep in mind this is a Twin Flame Collective reading, so this is representing the energies within our whole entire soul group. I do offer private readings, so if you would like to book a private reading to see the energies within your specific union, I can help give you more insight and clarity and understanding about what is going on within your own connection. So anyway, if you would like a private reading, you can go to twinsinunion.com, or I will put all of the information in the description box below. So, okay, with that all being said, I will start over here with the Divine Masculine. And so I asked the question for Spirit, what is the Divine Masculine thinking in regard to his twin flame connection and his beloved? And the card that came up is Victory. So this is a really beautiful card to see in the mental space for the Divine Masculine. I think the first reading that I did on my channel was back in July, around the 7/17 portal. And, you know, the Divine Masculine over the course of, you know, this time has really been, you know, as a collective, going through a very deep transformation. And I just feel like this Victory card is here to let us know that the Divine Masculine has really achieved great progress in overcoming everything that he was going through, like within his mental body. That he has graduated. He has reached a new level. He's been going through this process of really dissolving the ego and overcoming the conditioning, the social conditioning, the group thought, the programming from throughout his life about how he thinks about himself as a man, how he thinks about, you know, relationships and love, you know, just all of these ideas and belief systems that have been created in his mind. And he has reached a new level. You know, when we think about that this is a journey of ascension, and so much of that is, you know, going through these processes of releasing the old thoughts and the old beliefs from the old template and moving out of that in order to create the new template of divine love. And so we see, you know, this feminine figure here, and we see all of this gold energy coming through, which to me is just representing that illumination, that divine light, that ascension process. And I believe it was in the last reading that I did, you know, the image that came up in this position had the divine masculine had like a glowing light crowning his head. And so now I feel like it's like not only is it just crowning his head where he's receiving it, but he's really like integrated it, and you know, he is illuminated, and it was successful. It was he's moved into this new level. And this laurel wreath here just really was calling out to me to look into this laurel wreath. You know, it's representative of achievement and success, and you know, it's like the crowning victory after winning the race. And so anyway, I wanted to go deeper and look into the symbolism behind that. And I found a really interesting story about the god Apollo and the goddess Daphne. And the laurel wreath is associated with Apollo because Apollo was deeply in love with Daphne. And, you know, Daphne was overwhelmed by the love, and so she was running from the love, and she made the wish that she could become invisible or disappear off of the face of the earth or whatever. And so anyway, she disappeared, and in the last spot that Apollo saw her was a laurel wreath. And so he, you know, took on the laurel wreath to help him remember Daphne, because he was so incredibly devastated by losing her. And this is interesting to me because this is one of the blocks of the divine masculine is, you know, the fear of loss, the fear of losing the divine feminine. You know, if he lets himself fall in love with her that deeply, that he will lose her and it will just devastate him. So I just feel like, you know, there's some kind of a connection here with this laurel wreath of him overcoming that fear in his mind. And you know, like I was saying, gold is all about attaining wisdom and enlightenment and illumination. And so I just feel like the divine masculine has this new perspective on the connection that is coming from a place of wisdom. And this is a feminine figure, so I feel like he has really found balance within his mind by being able to embrace his own feminine aspect more, where he's able to, you know, use his intuition and open up to divine guidance, and you know, really have that kind of softening within his mental construct that is, you know, not just the hard, rigid, you know, edgy, patriarchal kind of way of thinking. So I feel like this is such beautiful progress to see for the divine masculine after so many months of seeing him in a really challenging place in his mindset, where he's just been battling, you know, these belief systems and, you know, walking away from all of the ways of thinking that don't serve him anymore. I really feel like this is a huge shift for the divine masculine collective, and it's really exciting to see this. And this is a number 28, so the number 2 is, you know, keeping the faith and the divine partnership, and the number 8 is that infinity, that eternal love, and it's also a number about powerful forward movement. So I do feel like the divine masculine as a collective has really made a lot of progress and are really moving forward. And the clarifying card that came up for this is Queen of Water. And so again, this is, if you look at both of these cards, these are both beautiful feminine figures, and they are both facing towards the divine feminine. And also, you know, this is like the direction of forward future movement. So, yeah, there's just this beautiful feminine energy that is now in his mind, and it's just allowing him to think more with, you know, from a place of his heart and his emotions. It's not just this rigid, you know, conditioned way of thinking, but a more tender, open-hearted, soft, go with the flow, feminine aspect that is, you know, balancing out that masculine aspect within his mindset. So it's very beautiful energy to see here. I just felt so much joy for the divine masculine. So if you are a divine masculine watching this, you know, give yourself a pat on the back. And oh, I had another message and I just lost it. What was it? Well, maybe it'll come back to me. It was something, I think, about the Queen of Water. Oh, yes, okay. I'm also sensing that this Queen of Water is, you know, that he has more gentle thoughts towards himself. He's being kinder to himself and overcoming a lot of the critical thoughts or putting the pressure on himself. He's starting to be kinder towards himself and his thinking. You know, having these more tender, soft, gentle ways of being towards himself and his mind. So I think that's just, you know, lots of healing and progress happening here. It's really great to see that. Let's see, and then what is the divine masculine feeling in his heart? And so the card that came up for that is the Thinking Woman. So one thing that is really interesting that I noticed is we have, you know, this Queen of Water clarifying card and these two feminine figures coming up in his mental space, and then we have the Thinking Woman coming up in his heart. And so I'm really feeling like there is, let's see, how do I want to say it? It's like before he used to be blocked between the communication between his heart and his mind, where his heart was shut down and everything was all happening mentally in his head. It was like, you know, that flow of communication between the heart and the mind was shut down. But now we have the Thinking Woman in his heart, and we have the Queen of Water, which is very emotional energy in his mind. So I feel like there's a lot more flow and communication happening between the heart and the mind, which is also just, you know, another sign of achievement and victory and success and healing that has happened. So, you know, in the divine masculine's heart, you know, this to me just represents the divine feminine. You know, she is in his heart, and she has really helped awaken his heart. You know, he's really being able to see the divine feminine from this heart space, and to appreciate her in a new way, where he can really see now how much she has opened up his heart, how much she has helped him grow in his awareness, how much she has helped him gain wisdom and understanding. You know, the Divine Feminine isn't typically like, you know, the quote-unquote normal woman. She's more, you know, got that fiery thing going on. She's independent, she's strong, she challenges the Divine Masculine. She doesn't even have to try to challenge him. It's like just her being who she is challenges him and awakens him and activates him in ways where he has to really confront his own fears. So yeah, he's just feeling an appreciation for his Divine Masculine within his heart space, and he's really able to recognize her as this teacher and this wise woman in his life, and he's really learned a lot from her, and he's really grown a lot through this connection. And we see this woman, she has a book in her hand, and then there's a stack of books, and she's holding a scroll. And to me, you know, there's like a lot of Gemini energy here, because Gemini is about communication, writing, reading the word, and we see all these books and this scroll that she's holding. And so yeah, she has been a teacher for him, and she has really assisted him, you know, in looking within his heart space and growing in this wisdom. I always think of the High Priestess when I see this card. So, you know, the High Priestess is all about that spiritual wisdom and spiritual knowledge and intuition. So I feel like, you know, the Divine Feminine has been this teacher for the masculine, and that also, again, he has been balancing his own inner feminine energy and really softening and opening up in his heart space and having this new perspective on the Divine Feminine and her role in his life. And there's a little yellow butterfly here, so it's like this transformation that has taken place within his heart space that has really allowed his heart to heal. There's a lot of green energy here, so a lot of heart healing and heart expansion and growing and his awareness and wisdom. So the clarifying card for this is the Seven of Earth. And Seven of Earth, we see this male figure here, and he's looking the opposite direction. So this is really interesting, how he's looking away. You know, the feminine figure is looking this direction and the masculine figure is looking this direction. So if we look at this like in terms of energetically in his heart space, you know, he's looking towards the feminine, and then the masculine aspect of him is looking away from the feminine. But it's not like he's looking away from her like in a way that he can't face her, but this is more of like a reflective card where he is reflecting on the past and reflecting and reevaluating and reviewing. This is like that Mercury retrograde kind of energy. And something else that I'm noticing, a couple of interesting things with these cards, the images, she has this hat on that has, you know, big flowers all over it. They're kind of like a purplish color. So to me, that's just emphasizing that divine wisdom, that 6th and 7th chakra, that third eye and 7th chakra that's receiving, you know, this divine guidance and wisdom and vision. And, you know, then we see this masculine, and he has these big feathers crowning his head. So I feel like, this is just, there's so much balance and symmetry happening here, and it's kind of this mirror image, where she's looking this way, he's looking that way, and then she's got this little butterfly here, and then he's got this little fairy over here. And so, yeah, it's like these little winged creatures both representing that intuition, that transformation, that little voice within. And so with the Seven of Earth, it's like he's reflecting on the past and past interactions that he's had with his divine feminine. And this is the card about looking like you've planted all of these seeds and you're looking at how they're growing and how they're making progress. And so I just feel like in the Divine Masculine's heart space, he's really, reflecting and looking back on how much he has grown and changed, how much his feminine has grown and changed, how much progress they have made, and how much she has really assisted him in his journey in attaining this wisdom and knowledge and growth, spiritual growth. And 7 is the spiritual path, this journey that we are on, this ascension path that we are on. And then 47 is, adds up to an 11. And then the 4 represents, firm foundations in the earth plane. It represents joy. It represents self-love. So, I feel like, again, this is the Divine Masculine really learning to have compassion for himself, have compassion for his feminine, and, really looking at the connection with eyes of compassion more. And really I feel like the feminine is like a muse, for him, who is guiding him and igniting him in his soul journey. Yeah, so really beautiful energy here in his heart space. Okay, and then this bottom row here, what is the Divine Masculine needing or wanting at this time? And so 2 cards came out. I think I'll start with this one. So we have man holding a coin. So the Divine Masculine, what I feel from this card, and this card has come up a lot in the private readings that I've done for the Divine Masculine, and I just really get this strong feeling that this is the Divine Masculine wanting to be his best version for his feminine. And we see this bright sun rising in the background behind him with that yellowish color, which is that solar plexus energy, which is our personal power, our self-esteem, our confidence, how we interact with the world from that place of personal power. So yeah, he's wanting to be his best version, be confident, be this strong provider. He's got this coin, man holding a coin, and so he's wanting to be in a really grounded, financially stable, confident place with his material world, with his finances, with his career. He's wanting to also have a new beginning. This, to me, I always think of a pentacle when I see this card. So he's really wanting a new beginning in the physical world with his feminine, and he's really working hard to manifest that and improve himself and work on this field of purple flowers. And you know, that color purple is associated with royalty and with divinity. So, you know, I'm sensing that the divine masculine is really wanting to step into his own divinity and his own sovereignty, that energy of the emperor and the king, you know, this really mature masculine energy. And this is a 43, which adds up to a 7. So spiritual path, ascension, and, you know, again, that number 4 is the physical earth plane, really being grounded, trusting in divine order, allowing that to manifest and materialize what we are wanting in the physical. And with the number 3, that is a number of, you know, divine protection, divine guidance, expansion, creativity. Yeah. And then the other card that came up with this is contract. And so, you know, this is just really emphasizing that, you know, this is a soul contract. This is a partnership that was, you know, contracted and agreed upon before we incarnated. And this is part of a soul mission. And it's, you know, it's our destiny. And, you know, it's finding this balance, finding this harmony. You know, the divine masculine wants this harmony to be there, and, you know, in the past things may have gotten out of balance, but we've really been working a lot energetically on creating that balance, you know, both the feminine and the masculine, and balancing the aspects within our connection, and also balancing those aspects within ourselves. And this is a number 6, which is a number of harmony, balance, equal giving and receiving. And in the traditional tarot deck, the number 6 is the card of the Lovers. So this is a love that, you know, is a soul contract. And, you know, for the divine masculine, it's great that he wants to be his best version, and we're all striving towards that. But I think it's important for the divine masculine to remember too that this is fated, it is destiny, and he doesn't have to be perfect to make it happen. We're always going to be striving to be our best version of ourselves, you know, throughout our whole lives. So just, if, you know, if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to attain a certain level of financial abundance or certain goals, then that's great, but just know that, you know, this is a contract that is predestined, and you are lovable, and your divine feminine loves you just for who you are on a soul level. And the clarifying card that came up with these is the Ace of Air. So the Ace of Air is, you know, new ideas, new ways of thinking, clarity of thought, seeing the truth, you know, transformation within the mental space. And this is a card of fate and destiny too, rising up above all of the illusions and seeing the truth, seeing from the higher perspective, working with the synchronicities and the signs that the universe is providing us with. So yeah, just going back to what I was saying, you know, if you are in a place where you feel like you have to, you know, achieve a certain goal in order to move forward in this soul contract, in this partnership, then just remember that, you know, it's also important to find the truth within your soul and to know that you are lovable just for who you are at a soul level, regardless of what your, you know, material world looks like. Okay, so then I have the Divine Feminine over here. So what is the Divine Feminine thinking in her mental space regarding her twin flame connection? And the card Hostilities came out, and it came out in reverse. I don't normally, like, I'm not a big reversal reader. I keep all my cards upright. But when one deliberately falls out in front of my face in the upside down position, I just take that as a sign from Spirit to pay attention to that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hold it upright just so you can see it. But yeah, I feel like this is also a sign of a lot of accomplishment for the Divine Feminine Collective. That she has really made leaps and bounds within her mental space where, you know, she's releasing or has released a lot of, you know, the things that were triggering her on an ego level, where, you know, a lot of anger and hurt feelings, feelings of rejection and abandonment and just frustration and confusion, wanting things to be a certain way when they're not, wanting to control the connection, you know, just all of these things, triggering her mind, that's all falling away or has fallen away. And you know, as a collective, the Divine Feminine energy is really, you know, moving into this beautiful new space in her mind that it's really interesting how, you know, the Divine Masculine has victory in his mental space and the Divine Feminine has this Hostilities card in reverse. There's like a mirroring happening here, you know, where one twin has, you know, moved up in the Ascension, and then the other twin moves up as a result. And so there's just really beautiful, you know, playing off of the energies here, mirroring of the energies here. And this is just, you know, like, it just makes me so happy for us as twin flames, because I know we are all working really, really hard in this journey to overcome and move through these obstacles, you know, in our minds and in our hearts. And I just feel like we are doing really amazing, great work here. And the clarifying card that came up for the Hostilities card is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a major arcana. It's actually the only major arcana that came up in this reading. So, you know, again, I feel like the Divine Feminine Collective, this is a number 5, so just a lot of transformation within the mental space for the feminine. And the other thing I was noticing about this card is behind the image of this woman is a huge moon, golden moon. And this is a super moon too, this full moon in Gemini. So, yeah, I just feel like the Divine Feminine has really risen up and is working with her higher self, working with the divine, You know, this is a card about spiritual practice. And like I was saying, with this full moon, this is a really good time to, you know, take some time in our spiritual practice and, you know, approach our spiritual practice with the intention of connecting with Source, connecting with that higher power, connecting with, you know, our higher self, divinity, and, you know, just embracing that wisdom and that intuition and that feminine aspect. And this is a card of unity. This is a card of oneness. This is a card of union. So yeah, there's just, you know, a lot of progress that is happening in the collective feminine mindset from this change and this transformation. And this hostilities card is a 26, so you know, the 2 representing the divine partnership and the 6 representing harmony, balance, and the lovers. And then when we add that up, we get the 8, so that is that powerful forward movement, you know, cutting through all of those thoughts that don't serve us. You know, I mean, they come up every day. I know I still have like those ego thoughts that come up, but then my higher self steps in and my higher self says, you know, hey, you know, Mr. Ego, I'm not really enjoying this conversation in my head, and I don't really feel like, you know, being in this space right now, so let's change the topic. You know, it's like just really bringing in this wisdom, this higher wisdom, and this higher knowing, you know, because it's like, sure, I've had hurt feelings, you know, from the past, but that's all in the past, you know, and I know that I'm a strong warrior, and I know that, you know, I hold the truth. I can cut through all the crap, even in my own mind, and just really see from the higher perspective, from this, you know, place of wisdom and knowledge and working with my higher self. And it's also really interesting too, because we have this masculine figure showing up in the feminine's mental space, and we've had these feminine figures showing up in the masculine figure in the feminine's mental space, feminine figures in the masculine's mental space. So again, there's just like this you know, balancing going on with the feminine and masculine energies within us and within our connection, and it's just bringing about a lot of healing and transformation and ascension, you know, all of this illumination and wisdom coming through. Okay, so what is the divine feminine feeling in her heart regarding her divine masculine and this connection? And so we had 2 cards come up for this, so I'm going to start with this one. This is Archangel Ariel, and she is associated with the 2nd chakra. So I find this really interesting because the Gemini full moon, like I was saying, it's associated with creativity, and the 2nd chakra is all about creative energy. The 2nd chakra is also associated with intimacy. So the divine feminine is, you know, in her heart, she's desiring, you know, this deeper connection with her masculine. She's wanting more intimacy. She's wanting more emotional intimacy. You know, not just the physical, but the emotional. This is the heart space. So, you know, she may be, you know, having these feelings of just that tenderness and that desire for more communication maybe, or you know, just having those heart-to-heart conversations where it creates more of that emotional intimacy. And you know, maybe that's just in the 5D. You can do that in the 5D, if not in the 3D. So, you know, this is a really good time to go within your heart space and to have those heart-to-heart conversations with your beloved if you aren't in contact in the physical. You can still create that feeling of closeness and intimacy and you know, that desire for that through the 5D communication, the heart communication. Yeah, and like I was saying, with the creativity, you know, I know for me, I've really been wanting to just sit down and write. I've also, you know, like I said, I went to a play last night, and I'm an artist, and I love to paint. I'm wanting to decorate for the holidays, so, you know, whatever creative inspiration that you have coming through you, just, you know, embrace that. And the second chakra is all about joy and happiness. And, you know, since this is the heart space, this is just saying you can really find that joy, find that happiness through creating from the heart. You know, maybe it's just sitting down and writing holiday greeting cards to friends and family and loved ones, or maybe you like baking and you want to like show people how much you care through, you know, this gift that you have for making great baked goods. And you know, it's just that spirit of service and connecting with others through your creativity and doing it from your heart. And, you know, second chakra is also a lot about, you know, your career and your life purpose and abundance. So I'm picking up on like some energy around mission here. So if you are doing your mission, you know, you might want to get creative with it and expand on it. Or maybe you've had an idea of something that you want to do, but you haven't taken action on that yet. So, you know, this is a great time to really like let those creative juices start to flow. Yeah. So then the other card that came up with this second chakra is the community card. So, you know, this could be your local community, it could be your soul group, it could just be hanging out with your girlfriends. But yeah, I feel like there's goddess energy coming through whenever I see this card. We see all of these divine feminine goddesses in these beautiful evening gowns, and they're surrounded by like all this, you know, luscious food. There's like this sense of fertility and abundance. There's like figs and apples and roses, and just kind of this vibe of like a party atmosphere. One of them is playing a harp, so there's music, and there's all these little orbs of light surrounding them, you know, all of the angels and their divine spirit guides there with them. And yeah, so, you know, if you want to get out and be social, then, you know, get together with some girlfriends and have a good time and have fun. You know, she's got a red dress on, so, and there's all these red roses and red apples, so that's some first chakra energy here, which is like that group energy. So, you know, maybe it's connecting with other light workers, people in your soul group. Maybe it's holiday get-togethers. But yeah, just I'm just feeling like this is a lot of energy of the full moon that we have coming through here. And it's just so beautiful because this is in the heart space. So it's like the divine feminine has shifted the energy of her first and second chakra up into her heart. So she is, you know, spending time with her soul sisters, with girlfriends, with her community, sharing from her heart. And she's also creating and manifesting from her heart. And she is like this beautiful muse for her divine masculine. And here we have a 7 for the spiritual path and 36. So that 3 is a number of creativity and expansion, and the number 6 is that harmony and balance. And then when we add them up, it's a 9, and I associate the number 9 with service to humanity, with mission, as well as, you know, it's often referred to as like completing a cycle. But I just feel like a lot of mission energy coming through with these cards. So maybe it's just about, you know, getting out in your community, you know, and going to a soup kitchen and volunteering, or sharing your spiritual gifts in your community. You know, whatever resonates with you around that. And the clarifying card that came up for these is the King of Water. And this is just really beautiful because the, you know, the energy of the king is a very mature masculine energy. So in the feminine's heart space, there's just this mature masculine energy. So I really feel like the divine feminine has matured and progressed a lot in her spiritual path, and this has brought about emotional mastery within her heart space. And she has really, you know, shifted out of, you know, she still wants and desires this, you know, intimacy and closeness with her masculine, but it's not like, it's like she's taking that energy of the intimacy that she desires with her masculine and using the third energy in a very mature way of channeling that into her mission work. So she's really utilizing her own inner masculine to manifest and create and connect with other people within her community, within her circle, within her soul group, you know, whatever it may be. And this is just, you know, this is emotion, this is that heart energy. And, you know, this man has this gray beard and gray hair, and he just looks so joyful too. So she's just acquired this wisdom and spiritual knowledge and maturity about her, and, you know, she's just so much more solid and stable within her heart and her emotions. So this is just really beautiful energy to see coming through for the divine feminine in the heart space. Again, I just feel like we've really all just graduated and elevated, you know, as a result of this 1111 gateway that we've been moving through. And then what does the divine feminine need regarding her twin flame connection? And what she's really needing is this adjacent possibilities. So whenever I see this card, I always think about a portal. You know, it's like, I think of a portal like moving through it as kind of being like moving through a hallway. So we see this hallway image, and I see all of these, there's these different doors and different windows. And whenever I see this card, I always think of timelines. So the Divine Feminine needs to really be conscious about what timelines she is choosing in each moment. And, you know, timelines are basically just like choices. Like, okay, I have, you know, some time this afternoon, and I could choose to sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips and watch a bunch of Netflix. Or I could choose to, you know, think up of something new and exciting for my mission work, or sit down and, you know, paint, like use my creativity. Or I could choose to like go and help a family member or a friend, or, you know, it's like we have all of these different options and choices that are available to us in any given moment every day. So I feel like this is just a message from Spirit for the Divine Feminine to really continue to choose the timelines that that feel like high vibration. And maybe sometimes that does mean sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. You know, sometimes we need that time out, you know, to just kind of chill and rest. And so just, you know, choose joy, choose health, choose what you feel drawn to, choose what your soul is calling out for, choose what your heart is wanting to do. You know, choose something that's new and different instead of continuing to open the same door. You know, choose a different colored door instead and see what's behind that door. Yeah, just expansion and timelines and bringing awareness into your choices, into where you are investing your energy and how is that affecting your vibration. And the clarifying card that came up with this is called Messenger of Fire. So in this particular deck, there are pages and messengers and king and queen. And the messengers are compared to like what the knight would be in the traditional tarot. So this would be like the Knight of Wands. And in this deck it's Messenger of Fire. So this card is all about passion and fast forward movement, and, you know, allowing that spiritedness, that passion to be what is igniting you in this powerful, you know, forward movement. And we see this feminine figure here, and if you look into her eyes, she just has like this determination and confidence. And when I was looking at this card, I had a song come up, and it's another 80s song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. So this is an energy of unstoppable energy. You know, nothing's going to stop us. This is determination, passion, you know, just wholeheartedly, heart and soul, full on going for it, you know. She's got all these candles illuminating and crowning her head. So this is, you know, that wisdom, that illumination, that enlightenment, and, you know, nothing's going to get in her way. Nothing's going to stop her. She's going after, you know, the highest timelines, the highest vibrations, and she's choosing, you know, to believe. She's choosing to trust. She's choosing to create and manifest a beautiful life. And all at the same time holding space for her divine masculine. you know, moving forward and exploring and going new directions and embracing new opportunities and doing it all with an open heart and passion from the soul. And she's surrounded by all of this divine guidance, all of these orbs of, you know, divine support, helping her and assisting her throughout her journey. You know, if you are ever not sure, just ask for divine support. All of the angels and, you know, ascended masters and God and our higher self, like, there's so much divine support there for us that we can call on at any time, you know, to help keep us ignited and to help keep us determined and to help keep us moving forward and to help us in choosing, you know, the things that will, you know, bring us joy and keep us in that vibration of optimism and give us that courage and strength. Yeah, so good advice there for the Divine Feminine. Let's see, okay, I'll go to the center now, and I realized I forgot to show the bottom of the deck at the beginning, which I normally do, and I just spaced out on that. So I will do it now. So we have the Healer of the Ages as our underlying energy here on the bottom of the deck. And this was, I believe, in the Divine Feminine's heart space for the last full union spread that I did. And here we have it as the underlying energy, and I just feel like it's just a reminder that this is a healing journey that we are on, and that we are healers, and we are going through this journey of ascension to prepare us for being in our mission, being in our union, and really shining our light out in the world to guide others and assist others, because there's a planetary awakening that's starting to happen. And that's why we are here right now. That's why we incarnated right now, is so that we can assist the planet in its ascension. So this whole journey that we have been on, all of this healing work that we have been doing, is preparing us so that we can assist and guide others, you know, that we can be the light worker and, you know, help other people as they go through their awakening and through their ascension, you know. So this is just really beautiful reminder here, and we have the twin flames back in the background here, and this beautiful light radiating and emanating out of his heart, this heart expansion. You know, this is beautiful imagery of what it means to be a light worker. And it's a 51, so that 5 is transformation and change, and then we have the 1, which is that new beginning that is coming about as we move through this ascension journey, as we transform ourselves, as we you know, move through all of this ascension and move into the truth of our soul. And then, you know, we move into this new beginning, and it adds up to a 6, which is, you know, the love, the harmony, the bliss, the balance. So it's really, really beautiful. And then for the union energy, we have door to personal healing and happiness. So this is just, you know, validation and confirmation that, you know, all of this progress that we are making, all of this illumination, divine light that we've been receiving, all of this transformation that we have been going through is leading us to this doorway, to this portal of happiness and healing. And we see this beautiful rainbow there symbolizing you know, the promise of what's to come, these new opportunities, these new beginnings, and a new dawn with the sunrise coming up here. And these beautiful, you know, pink lotus flowers floating there, representing, you know, moving through the quote-unquote dark night of the soul and rising up out of that. The lotus comes out of dark, muddy, murky water and rises up, and it's this beautiful, pristine flower that rises up above and sits on top of the water after it's, you know, come up from the mud. And there's a little blue butterfly here representing change and transformation, and a peacock, pride, confidence. So I feel like this is just, you know, letting us know that we are on the right path. We are doing amazing work. All of this challenge and hardship and obstacles that we're moving through is leading us to this beautiful path of healing and happiness and joy and abundance. And we are getting there. We are getting there. And to just really trust that we have everything that it takes, you know. We've got what it takes to manifest this. We are manifesting this. And the clarifying card that came up with this is the Messenger of Earth. So, you know, Messenger of Earth, so that would be like the Knight of Pentacles. But what I'm really picking up from this card is, you know, the Messenger of Earth, Earth is very grounded, it's very solid, it's loyal, it's integrity, honor, determination. You know, when you look at this woman again, like her eyes, just, she has this air of determination and confidence and focus and wisdom, and like she just puts her heart and soul into everything that she does. And you know, she's very thorough and you know, very grounded, but she's like the sure deal, you know, she's in it for the long haul. And I was also noticing, it looks like she has a laurel wreath, like laurel leaves around her head. And this is just so beautiful, being the last card here with the energy cards, because we started off with the laurel wreath of victory for the divine masculine, and now, you know, we have this card clarifying the energy of the union as also expressing victory, you know, the gold energy crowning her head and the success and the achievement. So I just really feel like, you know, this clarifying card is letting us know that, you know, we are achieving this. We have everything it takes to make it happen. We are making it happen. It is happening. And to just really believe in that and trust in that and have faith in that, and to really stay in that place of determination and confidence and staying solid and grounded and you know, trusting in that. Good things are coming. Okay, so that takes care of all of these, the energy cards and clarifiers. And then I will move into a quick romance message from the Divine Love Letters book. And if you're not familiar with this book, it's channeled letters from twin flames to twin flames, soul to soul. And again, you can find it on Amazon. And I just really love it because it's like a great oracle that you can use to receive messages from your beloved. So yesterday I asked for a number and I received the number 153. So I'm going to read 153 out of the book, and this is the first volume. So I will read the message, and just imagine that this is your beloved speaking to you through this love letter. Okay. Since I've been away, I've thought about you a lot. I've thought about how different you are to everyone else. How I couldn't explain the feelings inside me when you were near. I'm still trying to work it out. I'm still waking up to me, to who I truly am. Please give me time. Don't worry about our connection. It is true. It is real. It is love. There's no escaping it and no denying it. You are the one that lit me up and made me want more out of life, made me question things about me, about you, about what I wanted. It's simple. I want you. I want our life together. Trust me that I am finding a way to make that happen. Believe in me. Believe in the power of love. Oh, I love that. I love that. It just really resonates with this reading. So believe. We are all doing amazing work, and we are making it happen, and it is coming together. It's the power of love, and love always wins. So you can always trust in love. And if you go into those, slip into those doubts, just go back into your heart. The truth is always in your heart. Okay, and then we will finish off with Wisdom of the Golden Path. And I pulled a card for the masculine and for the feminine. And I'm going to get a quick drink of water. Okay, so the card that came up for the masculine is Trust. And I'm going to read from the book, and this is Wisdom of the Golden Path by Tony Carmine Salerno. The lady featured on this card seems troubled and a little unsure of things. The water represents rising emotions. She senses that a change is looming, but she is not sure what changes will occur and how they will affect her. The white dove signifies the universal spirit which brings good news. Behind everything there is a single unifying force which is unfathomable and unknowable. You, our world, and the entire cosmos are governed by the same universal energy. This energy, which is the essence of all the same universal energy, this energy, which is the essence of all creation and life, also governs all change. Your life, like all of life, is forever changing and evolving. It is pointless to try to resist change, for it is a way of nature. In order to move forward, you must willingly surrender to the universal love, to the universal energy of love. Trust and allow it to guide you in the knowing that you have placed your trust in the greatest power there is. Within you, the power of the entire universe exists, a power full of infinite creativity. Be bold and strong, for you are the creator of your own destiny. Look inside. You will find everything you need right there. Just follow your heart and know that what feels right is right. So as I was reading that, I was seeing these two cards coming up in my mind's eye. Man holding a coin and contract. So just really trust and believe that this is destiny, that the universe has your back, that you know you have what it takes to fulfill this destiny, you know, co-creating and manifesting, that you have that power within you. And you know, to just really trust in that, you know, that you are equipped with all of the tools to make it happen. Okay, and then for the feminine, the card that came up is Rose Petals. And it says, "The path is beginning to clear and all obstacles will soon vanish. Your time of waiting is over and you move forward with confidence and renewed clarity. The blocks and challenges that you have faced in recent months were essential to your ultimate success. Sometimes it's best to wait, and sometimes the universe acts on our behalf. For just as nature has her seasons, we too have our seasons. We must respect life's ebb and flow. There is a time to move and a time to be still. Now is your time. Your dreams come to fruition, and it feels like rose petals fall down from heaven. Enjoy the journey." So this is beautiful. I just love this card. It has so much beautiful heart energy. And I really feel this sense of expansion and liberation and forward movement, like getting unstuck for the divine feminine. You know, it's just been like this energy of just, you know, feeling stuck and struggling to move forward and wanting to move forward, but feeling, you know, like something's been like pushing up against you and you can't move forward. But now I'm feeling like, you know, something has been lifted, that we've moved through whatever, you know, those blocks were, and now we are really rising up. And not only rising up, but expanding out. And it's just, you know, a really positive new place for us to be. So that covers it for this reading. So I hope that, you know, you were able to receive guidance and clarity in your journey from this. And again, if you would like a private reading to see the energies for your unique connection, then I'm putting all of that booking information in the description box below. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful super full moon in Gemini, and in the weeks to come here with the holiday season. And yeah, I'm just sending you all so much love and many blessings, and I will see you again soon. Take care.